Can you imagine that? Written and illustrated by Ilyhana Kate Kennedy. I want to tell you a story about perky possums and flip-flop frogs. It's a story about slippery, slidey snails, tall trees, and willy wagtails. It's a story about absolutely everything. It's a story about a stripy skins on the zigzag zebras, about big-eyed hooty owls at night, and dazzling daisies by day. Oh, and it's about people too, you and me. It might be a true story, or it might be just pretend. Maybe I heard it somewhere, or maybe I just dreamt it up one night. Anyway, this is how the story goes. Trip, trap, chit, chat. Once upon a time, a very, very long time ago, there were no kangaroos, no ducks, no rivers, no mountains, and no trees. Can you imagine that? There was just nothing, absolutely nothing. Well, that's how the story goes. Nothing. There were no lions and elephants, no beaches with sand playing, no people, no you and me, no buses, trains to ride, no birds to sing us awake in the morning. There was just nothing, not one single thing. That is, except a big fat dream. Now that old dream just floated around in a big shiny bubble, sleeping and snoring away, pushing up lots of Z's. On and on, it slept and dreamt. So while the story begins like this, once upon a time, there was only the dream. That's all there was. Zit, zilch, nothing else. Just the dream. Just the dream, its big shiny bubble self, floating around and snoring. It might be a true story, or it might be just pretend. Anyway, this is how the story goes. One day, or was it one night, or one morning? Well, anyway, the dream woke up, and it was tired of being a bubble. So it started to think of things. It dreamt of things like spots and stripes and creatures to wear them. Yes, it dreamt of sunshiny mornings and bees buzzing in daisies. Buzz. And it dreamt of cupcakes with cherries and people to eat them. Yum! It dreamt of hooty howls in a starry night sky. Hoo! Hoo! And it dreamt of airplanes zooming up into shiny blue day. Vroom! Oh, the big fat dream was dreaming up so many things. In fact, it dreamt up so many things that it started to be curious. What would it be like to be a sparkle of sunlight on the water? Sing. And what would it be like to be a rock in a stream and feel the water splashing over it? What would it be like to be a big pink fish snip-snapping and a dragonfly? Oh, the big fat dream was wondering what it would be like to be all these real things and not just a big fat dream. Oh, and so the big fat dream began to have wishes, so many wishes. The dream imagined that it could be a caterpillar gobbling up a leaf. Crunch, 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 munch, munch, lunch, lunch, and it wished for that caterpillar to turn itself into a gorgeous creature flying on colored wings. How cool would that be? The big fat dream started to wish for big fat things with the biggest, fattest wishing it could do. To tell you the truth, it went a bit wild. It dreamt up a big fat donut with a wonderful song coming out of it. Uh-oh. Guess what happened then? Kaboom! Suddenly, there was a mighty explosion. It was so loud that the dream really woke up this time. Little balls of every color whirled and swirled into a donut. Well, as you can just imagine, the big fat dream became very excited. I'm a donut! I'm a donut! A real live donut! Out of the donut came a big, fat, satisfying sigh on one big, long, ah. I'm singing. I'm a big fat dream and I'm a big fat donut and I'm singing. Now, that is a strange story, and so strange things happen. Well, just at the very second the sound began to hum, the little colored balls jiggled and wriggled with joy. What happened then? Oh, well, it just kept on humming. No, something must have happened. Oh, well, these things take a long time. Anyway, as the story goes, the dream was having a chat to itself. What about those things I used to dream of being? What about some roaring lions and growling tigers and long necks on giraffes? What about stripes and spots and creatures to wear them? And maybe some fish to swim in the sea? I'd like to be a fish. And what about those sunshiny suns and twinkly stars and moonshiny moons? Suddenly the hum became a song. Before you could say, by gosh gee willy wickers, the big fat dream was singing about giraffes and zebras, butterflies and kangaroos, crabs and stars, whales and moons, suns and rainbows. That dream was bopping along, singing a song about absolutely everything. And then what happened? Well, then there was magic. That donut just went crazy and made itself ginormous. The little colored balls burst out into space everywhere. A little red ball exploded into a bright, fiery sun. Kaboosh! Just like that. A little green ball grew into a glowing moon. A little yellow ball sparkled into a twinkling star. Yes, just like that. Every ball of every color filled the sky with stars and planets and suns and moons, just as the dream had wished them. And so it was for a very, very, very long time, until... thought the dream. I'm still not a willy wagtail or a walrus or a kangaroo. I'm still not a zebra or a buzzy bee. I'm still not a doggy running on the beach. I'm still not a whale wagging my tail. I'm still not a plane or a train. I'm not a river or the rain. And then, at the very moment, a lovely blue ball came floating by. Oh my, what is this I spy? At the very sight of the blue ball, music filled up inside the dream and came pouring out into a beautiful sweet song about everything that the dream wished to be. The whirling blue ball twirled and danced with the song of the dream. All that happiness made things happen. Some fluffy clouds appeared from nowhere, and then big fat drops of rain began to plip, plop, splatter. Before you could say splashes, galoshes, there was water everywhere. Kapow! Up out of the water popped the land with grass and rocks and trees and sandy beaches all along. Of course, it really took a lot longer to do all that, but we like to make the story exciting. Anyway, suddenly there were things, and the things were real. There were zippy zebras wearing stripy coats, whopping great walruses lolling on rocks, and kangaroos bouncing through the bush. And that's not all. There were scowling owls hooting to the stars, tweet, tweet, hoo. There were slidey snails making silent trails. And yes, there were cupcakes with cherries, scrummy, yum, yum. There were airplanes zooming across the sky, and there were people like you and me, dancing and singing and working and laughing. There were caterpillars and flutter-by butterflies and the biggest, fattest rainbow ever. There was simply everything the big fat dream had ever wished it could be. I'm anything that I dream I can be. I'm a frog and a skink and a twiddle-dee-dee. The dream was so happy that it decided to dream up wonderful things forever. So that's the story of the big fat dream. Maybe, just maybe, you might have some dreams too and wish for good things and have it come true. Can you just imagine that? They never end. With thanks for our wonderful world.